Leeds 2010, and among the bright lights of the big city, one family restaurant continues to go from strength to strength.
Okay, start going out with 2 liquid clothes.
Salvo's, run by brothers Jip and John Demone, entertains nearly 2,000 customers per week, and today is regarded as one of the best spots for Italian food anywhere in the country. But the story of this restaurant begins with Salvo himself, 60 years ago and 1,000 miles away on the coast of the Mediterranean.
My dad was born in Pelagonia, which is a province of Catania in Sicily.
Very agricultural. It was what they call in Italy campanilismo, wasn't it?
Yes,
which
yeah.
is life revolves round a centre within the earshot of the bells of the local church. So to actually leave the town was quite a big thing, really,
Yes,
wasn't it?
yeah.
If you married somebody from the next town, it was because you married a foreigner almost. You know, it was that sort of thing.
But in a flamboyant move that was a sign of things to come, Salvatore Demone escaped Sicily and found love on the Italian mainland, marrying Nunzia Calce in 1954. The young couple had big dreams, and for reasons unknown, a belief that the place to make them happen was Yorkshire.
The conversation might go like this: is that in America? Yeah, America, you're part of London. So they didn't even know where the hell anything was. To get out of extreme poverty, to make a new life, they knew nothing other than a name. So we ended up in Leeds.
In 1954, the Demones swapped the sunny hillsides of Italy for the charms of England's industrial north. They had little money, but carried with them a passion for Italian food that would be the family's lifeblood for years to come.
My mum always used to say to me, she used to laugh about vegetarianism, and she said, vegetarians, we were all vegetarians, we
Yes.
couldn't afford meat. I mean, meat was an absolute luxury. One of the dishes that I remember having as a kid that none of my contemporaries ever heard was aubergines, which in southern Italy is called la carne del popolo, which means, literally translated, the meat of the working classes.
Any southern Italian from that era where poor food is all there is, to spend time, love, care and attention on making food taste good.
At a time when olive oil was still something you got from the chemist, Salvatore and Nunzia opened a string of Italian cafes throughout the city. But when their sons were born, Salvo and Nunzia decided to raise the family back in Italy. In Nunzia's native Salerno, the family set up a restaurant, the Trattoria della Sport, and it's here that Jip learned the lessons in Italian cooking that stay with him today.
I was trained by this old man who was well known all around the town. He could look at a piece of dough proving on the marble top and put his hands in and tell me how many litres of water, how many kilos of flour, just by sight. So he was a formidable guy, quite scary. Because of the schooling I've had in Italy by somebody who really was a pizza master, everything matters. Where's the oregano from? Where's the flour from? Where are the tomatoes from? Everything matters, and when it all comes together, well, you get pizza.
But things were never simple for the Demone family. In the early 70s, a cholera scare in Europe devastated the restaurant trade. Penniless and desperate, the family decided to try their luck in Leeds one more time.
So Dad comes back here, calls on the hospitality of a
Santo.
a Sicilian friend, and 5 of us are living in an attic in a Victorian house in Harrows.
In Harrows, yes, until...
Yeah, Dad having itchy feet. The fact that he didn't have 2 pennies to rub together was never an obstacle for him.
No.
Borrowing from friends, Salvatore dusted himself down and set about opening a new restaurant. With no money for staff, the whole family had to play a part.
The day that we opened, it was all very much a last-minute thing. Mum made the tablecloths, which she'd finished sewing probably about half an hour before we were due to open.
With matching pennies.
You were in the kitchen.
Yes.
Dad did the pizzas. I was in the kitchen washing up,
Washing
and
up,
then
yeah.
basically generally helping out, and we all stuck in.
The De Monets knew that this was their last chance. Everything depended on the success of Salvo's.
That sheer hunger and desire to work, bearing in mind where Dad had come from, there was an absolute, totally, I think it's fair to say, totally driven, this had to
Yes.
work. This had to work. So we opened the doors and people started coming in and they never stopped.
Today, Salvo's is a modern, successful restaurant, but the brothers won't forget where they came from, though it's not as though they really have a choice.
This restaurant has still got Dad's personality stamped all over it. It's really interesting. I look at you and I still think, he's turning into Dad, is what I'm thinking.
I'm turning into my old man.